for something, Ranger?
You again? I was expecting someone tougher.
I'm the greatest warrior of all!
Okay, well, I guess we'll see about that when we go there. I'm sure we've all wondered who the strongest Power Ranger villain is, right?
Not really. No.
Okay, well then I guess I'm just doing this for myself. But yeah, so here's my top 10 of who the strongest Power Ranger villains are. Now this is just in my opinion. Okay, so at number 10 we have Rito Revolto, and why is he at number 10? He's an idiot. I put him here because he did destroy the Thunder Zords and the Tiger Zord. Although he had help, we've seen a lot of monsters who have made the Megazord spark, like how the Helpers did, but it was really Rito's power that made them fall to pieces, and we've never seen any other villain really make the Megazords fall to pieces or fall apart. So yeah, unfortunately that's pretty much all that Rito really did, but that is a pretty big display of power. He forgot his memories for a little while, so you can't really blame him for not doing much powerful stuff. Okay, and at number 9 we have Lord Zed from Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. I did forget to say that about Rito. He's also from Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, but I'm sure like a lot of you guys are wondering why he's so low on the list. And I mean, he is really powerful, but he's not as powerful as the ones that are going to be after him. But yeah, he did actually take over Rita's operation without even Rita trying to stop him or trying to fight him. I mean, instead she literally begged for a second chance, and I mean, she was a powerful being herself, so it really showed his power. At number 8, we have Emperor Mavro from Megaforce. Mavro could be seen as one of the most powerful villains, if not the most powerful, because it took almost every Ranger in history to beat him, even some that were never introduced in the American TV shows. But why is he so low in the list? Well, it was his army that made him insanely strong, not really his actual power, so in a way he deserves his spot, but he did have that really powerful army. Number 7, we have Daishi from Jungle Fury. Daishi may not have done anything crazy distinguished like how Mavro had every ranger try to stop him, but that doesn't mean that he's not a strong villain, because I mean, he's literally the spirit of an 8-headed dragon, which even when in his spirit form, he was able to easily take the Paishwa Master's animal spirits, and in his dragon form take out both Zords in one strike, and would have been unstoppable if it wasn't for the human that he had taken over his body, and who probably had some of his own power inside of him. Even though it was obviously a lot of Jared's power that took out Daishi, it was probably a little bit of Daishi's power that did it too. At number 6, we have Lothar from Ninja Storm. Lothar may be a comedian type villain. He is also very powerful though. He was able to beat and take the Ranger's powers by himself, and in Dino Thunder was also able to escape the underworld type place he was trapped in, and then get revenge by taking over the 3 main Ninja Storm Rangers' minds, Shane, Tori, and Dustin, who gave the Dino Rangers a run for their money. So I mean, that's a pretty big deal that he was able to take the Rangers' powers, escape an underworld type place, and then take over the Rangers' minds, and then make them fight other Power Rangers. But I do have to say, it was pretty cool when he had the Ninja Rangers in their dark, evil side. They were pretty good evil Rangers. They did it pretty well. I liked just that small glimpse of what they could have been like if they were evil Rangers. At number 5, we have the Master / Optimus from Mystic Force. The Master, not just being one of the only villains to ever destroy a Ranger, he was one of the only villains to destroy 2 Rangers, which just screams power. But if that's not enough, he was kind of the ruler of the underworld, which is where the worst of the villains are. He could be considered one of the strongest villains, but why he is number 5 is simply because he had a lame death and weakness, absorbing too much energy. Even though that's not really his fault and he still was really powerful, could have been even one of the most powerful, we just didn't really get to see how powerful he was because he just absorbed too much energy and then just died. At number 4, we have Green Psycho Ranger, Trek from Supersonic Rangers. Trek may never have made an appearance in a TV show or movie for that matter, but instead was a comic book character who didn't even interact with the main Psycho Rangers. He is still a great villain. This story was similar to aspects of Rita Repulsa's from the 2017 Saban's Power Ranger movie, having been a Green Ranger and betraying his team, but in his case he blew his team up after Dark Spectre, which is the person who made him a Psycho Ranger and also made the rest of the Psycho Rangers, convinced him that he was unwanted by his own team. But I mean, blowing his team up isn't really necessarily like a display of power. He was later knocked out by Zordon and Alpha's like defenses when he was trying to let Rita Repulsa out of her cage. But when he woke up, he saw some Power Rangers, so he killed 2 Rangers, them being Chukarin and Jamie Gilmore. The rest of the Rangers power blasted him, turning him into a huge monster, huge flaming green monster known as a Tyrant. And then the Red Ranger sacrificed himself to knock him out for a few years. So not only did he kill 2 Rangers, he was able to have one sacrifice themselves to knock him out. So at number 3, we have Ivan Ooze from the Mighty Morphin Power Ranger movie. This villain was insanely powerful, him being able to easily break into the Rangers command center and destroyed Zordon's time warp. But not only did he pretty much kill Zordon, he then demolished the command center and in doing so took the Rangers' powers. But he wasn't just excited that he took the Rangers' powers, he then went and imprisoned Rita Repulsa and Lord Zed, who were both extremely powerful. I mean, you already saw Lord Zed on this list. That just shows how much power he had. He was able to imprison Rita Repulsa and Lord Zed in a snow globe. That's pretty powerful. And another thing that was powerful about him was it actually took a comet. So think of it like this. What took Lord Zed and Rita Repulsa 2 seasons to do, it took him 1 day. And he did a little bit more. At number 2, we have Psycho Rangers who were in space through galaxy. I'm considering the main team of Psycho Rangers to be a different villain than the Psycho Green Ranger. The Rangers' names and colors are: red was named Virgil, black Photon, blue Axe, yellow's name was actually Yellow, which isn't very creative, but they came up with all the other names, so yeah. Pink's name was No Kriya. They are some weird names, but still names, I guess. Now, why are these guys so high on the list? Well, because they are like 5 Psycho Green Rangers that are supposed to be a team like the Power Rangers. And the only reason that they weren't able to destroy the Space Rangers was because they all wanted to kill their same color counterparts. It did not work together very well. But their power was unmatched by any monster because they also had a huge monster form like Psycho Green Ranger, as well as being able to look like the Space Rangers and turn into human forms that don't look like the Space Rangers. They had their own human form things. Well, at least 3 of them did: yellow, red, and black. At number 1, we have Lord Draken from the Mighty Morphin Power Ranger comic books. Lord Draken is the most powerful villain, in my opinion. Lord Draken is an alternate reality version of Tommy Oliver, but this version never turns good and instead continues to work with Rita. Even after her spell is gone, they slowly take over the world, city by city, until Lord Draken killed Rita so he could rule all by himself, and then continued what they had started as he took the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers power coins and turned the coins power into an army of Ranger Sentries, which is typically just a bunch of the Rangers. He then took the next Ranger team's coins and the next until they ruled the entire world. And if that was enough, he then accessed the morphing grid to find Rangers of other realities, killing them. But by doing that, he started a war between all Power Rangers and himself. And in the war, many more Rangers died. But Lord Draken killed the most Power Rangers of any villain in the history of Power Rangers, which is why I say he's the most powerful villain that has ever been in Power Rangers. Anything from the movies to the comic books, to the TV shows, to the Japanese TV shows. There just has never really been anybody more powerful. Okay, thanks guys for watching. If you enjoyed, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe. Also, comment down below who your favorite villain is. My personal favorite villains, technically villains, is the Psycho Rangers. I feel like they were such cool villains. They had so many powers, so many abilities, but they just had those few weaknesses that really just overall made the biggest difference in whether or not they won. But they were also just insanely cool in my opinion.